If anybody has ever heard the legend of Chirk Castle and the Battle of Croggan and the Oak of the Dead, well, that there is the Oak of the Dead. The Battle of Croggan took place in this valley where we're standing now. But also with Chirk Castle, there was a story about two twins. Now, the two twins fought about who was going to have the castle. And the loser would have the mill, which is called Castle Mill, which is down here. Right, anyway, so the two twins have a race from Chirk Castle gates, main gates of the castle, right, all the way down to the Hand Hotel in Chirk. The first one touches the Hand Hotel, right, and then runs back. Now, the one who touches the castle gate that enters the castle is the winner and ends up with the castle. So therefore, now the fastest twin makes it to Chirk, and he's on his way back now, running back to the castle. And he now starts to tire out and is starting to lose. So therefore, the other twin overtakes him. And now, because he kept his energy until the last sprint, so he now overtakes him and starts running faster and faster and faster. And he eventually gets to the win. Well, anyway, he's just about to win. And the twin that was losing cuts off his own hand and chucks it at the castle. And wins, because his hand hit the castle first. Well, so the one now who was just about to win gets, well, I'm sorry son, but there you go, there's Castle Mill for you, and ends up with Castle Mill and ends up living as a farmer. So this is the one who's got the two hands. The one who didn't have the two hands now ends up with the castle, but it's alright because he's got servants, maids and all sorts of things to look after him. The best part is, his hand was buried and then there was an oak tree put where the hand was. And this is the oak tree, which looks like a hand. So that's the legend of this oak tree. And if you look closely at it, and I mean closely, you can see the thumb there, one hand, the second hand, the other. It has 5 branches ranging from it, and the palm of it looks, it's got resemblance of a hand, which is quite a cool little story, I think. That's why I thought I'd tell it. So there you go, this is the hand, the oak tree. It is supposed to be buried at the hand. And that is the legend behind the hand, which appears everywhere. And if my dog keeps still so I can zoom in, that there is Castle Mill. Now Castle Mill was originally built 50 years before the castle. Now this is the base of the mill, which I'll get up to it now and show you. It then was made into 3 stories, which it was then a farm. The old church, which is St. Catherine's Church, which was after World War II, it was made into a church. But before then, that was the stables for Castle Mill, where the animals were kept. The White House over there was the actual barn for Castle Mill. That actually got blown up in World War II and then rebuilt into the 2-storey property that you see now. The 2-storey property that you see now was built in 1946, and it basically looked like a council house until recently, when it was revamped by the newest owners back in the 90s. This here is the official Gate of the Dead. So that's the Gate of the Dead there, the official named one anyway. It's actually just the old mill gates up to Chirk Castle. So there's a little walkway that the trust has put in place. But this car, Anyway, let me show you this. The bottom floor of this house is the oldest part, right? And underneath it has a cellar which is twice the size of the house. Now, the cellar, I think, was built to channel the water for the actual mill, because that piece there, that was the actual mill. The rest of it, all this top piece, that there is where the wheel was. What you see here now was actually built around about the 1600s, but what it was built on is a different thing altogether. Where that car is underneath the cover there, that is where the water used to channel through here, through there, and then straight down that way when it was a mill. That house was built afterwards, but if you look closely you can see a line showing where it was the old barn. See the line there? You can just make out the line going all the way around. Where it was the old barn then, that there was the old stables, which then was chapel afterwards, when this was privately sold and became a private house. So anyway, there's the story of Castlemilne. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.